We can't start off the conversation saying the science is settled. That is the wrong way to start off the conversation. The right way to have these conversations is actually listen to what the science says on both sides. And believe it or not, there's quite a bit of science on the other side.
He wants control of your life. He's going to control how much meat you can eat. Can you imagine that?
We really are at the altar of climate change. And don't worry, folks, I'll let you know climate change is absolutely real. It happens 4 times every year.
Yeah, those are seasons. Anyway, what you heard there was climate change misinformation, or perhaps a better term, disinformation, because all of those individuals know that what they're telling you is BS. But it's a big problem, honestly. And it's time that we take stock of the different forms that misinformation of this sort comes in. Because you need to understand that, obviously, for many years, the GOP has been trying to muddy the waters around climate science, the climate crisis, while the rest of the world, for the most part, is ready to take this seriously, ready to try to fight back against what is happening to our climate and to our planet. Now, there's a lot of forms that the muddying of the waters comes in, but climate misinformation is one of the big ones. And although the form can vary, sometimes it's a religious appeal, sometimes it's making you afraid that you're not going to be able to get a Whopper, sometimes it's implying that there's good science on both sides. All of it is designed to do the same thing, which is cause you to be uncertain about that which is certain. All of the lessons that have been taught from thousands of climate studies conducted by hundreds and hundreds of climate scientists for decades in every country in the world. And what they have said is indisputable. The climate is changing. We are responsible for it. And if we don't do anything about it, then the future is gonna be bad. Like really, really, really bad. But as you saw in that video, climate misinformation comes in a few different forms, and we want to prepare you to respond to as many of them as possible. So with that, why don't we jump into some of the most common forms? So the first is the assertion that concerns about climate change and calls to do something about it are basically just designed to strip away your freedoms and perhaps even institute a one world government. Here's a little bit of how that looks.
For many people who live in the West, but also in rural and urban areas, the ideas behind the Green New Deal are tantamount to genocide. That may be an overstatement, but not by a whole lot.
Is global warming real?
It is not. It's fake science, and it's a racket at the academic level.
Go back in. They wanted us so badly. You could have negotiated. If you wanted to go back in, which frankly, we have the cleanest air, the cleanest water, and everything else that we've ever had, so I don't know why we have to. And what good does it do when we're clean, but China's not, and Russia's not, and India's not?
Democrats all worship the climate just like AOC. But let me tell you something. We worship God.
Yeah, I got that one. I wonder what he thinks about some of her personal life choices. In any event, you saw there that even these the claims that I would file under the umbrella of something about your liberties, something about the behavior of other governments, perhaps the UN, they basically all imply that you are going to be hindered in some way, or the US is going to be hindered in some way, perhaps by allowing other governments to get away with something that we won't, or perhaps replacing the United States with some sort of one world government. The basic idea is that all of this is fake, but it's designed to benefit a powerful elite. Sometimes they talk about a scientific or an academic elite. Sometimes it's the UN. But I think that that's kind of interesting because what that appears to be designed to do is to get you to miss the fact that the status quo kind of benefits some significant elites as it is. I will remind you that just over the last year, you remember when gas prices shot up? 5 oil companies, just the top 5, raked in $35 billion while Americans were paying increased prices at the pump. And if you look over the course of all of 2022, the top oil companies brought in $200 billion. And I'm not just talking about the influence and the power of the fossil fuel companies when it comes to generating profit. You'll have to remember that there were a lot of politicians pushing for doing something to drive down gas prices. There were proposals put forth at the state level, certainly in California, as well as in our federal government. And those were warded off at every turn by politicians who of course have received quite a bit of money in campaign donations from these fossil fuel companies. So if the idea is that you're supposed to be scared of some sort of massive vaguely defined, amorphous elite power that has money and that has control over politics, you don't have to turn to some sort of post-apocalyptic future. We've got that right now here in America, and it's called Chevron, and it's called BP, and it's called ExxonMobil. They own our government in large part. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.